Choosing an office space. I mean, it's not just about where you put your desks, right? It's one of the first huge strategic moves any business makes. It really defines your identity, it shapes that all-important first impression, and believe me, it can either fuel your growth or stop it dead in its tracks. So today, we're going to dive into why renting might just be the smartest play for your company's future.
Okay, so you've got the big idea, you've got your team, and you are ready to go. Your business is poised to take off. But what about your headquarters, your physical home base? Does it actually reflect the ambition you have, or is it kind of holding you back? That's the big question we're going to tackle today.
And here's our game plan for how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about the fundamental office dilemma that every business faces. Then, we'll look at why renting is such a powerful solution. After that, we'll get into finding your perfect fit, run through a super important pre-lease checklist, and finally, we'll have the ultimate showdown, renting versus buying.
So first up, the office space dilemma. Look, every entrepreneur knows this feeling deep down. You know you need a professional workspace to be taken seriously, but then you think about that huge long-term financial commitment, and yeah, it can be absolutely terrifying.
And this is where it gets tricky, because a professional office address, it just instantly signals stability. It builds trust with your clients, it impresses potential partners, and it helps you attract the best talent. It's a statement about how legitimate your business is before you've even said a single word.
So, how do you solve this dilemma? Well, that brings us right to our next section, renting as the smart solution. For today's agile businesses, renting isn't settling for something. It's a strategic move that gives you flexibility, affordability, and convenience you just can't get otherwise. Let's dig into the core benefits here. First off, the initial cash you need to put down is so much lower. You're avoiding a massive down payment. Second, the setup is incredibly fast. I mean, many rentals, especially in hubs like Bashundhara, RA, and Dhaka, come furnished and totally ready to go. You can be up and running almost overnight. Plus, you get that instant professional look, you don't have to worry about maintenance, and, this one's a biggie, you have the flexibility to get a bigger or smaller space as your business grows and changes.
Okay, so we've covered why you should think about renting. Now let's get into the what. Because renting is definitely not a one-size-fits-all deal. In this section, we're going to explore the different kinds of rental spaces out there so you can find your perfect match.
All right, so this chart here breaks down the 4 main types of office spaces pretty neatly. Let's just quickly run through each one, and you can see which one might be the right vibe for your business.
First up, you've got your classic private office. This is the traditional setup, right? It's an exclusive space that's all yours, dedicated to your company. It's really ideal for more established teams that need that privacy for confidential calls or just want a quiet, focused environment to get work done.
Next are shared office spaces, which you probably know better as co-working spaces. This is where a bunch of different companies all work under one roof, sharing things like kitchens and meeting rooms. It's absolutely perfect for startups and freelancers who are looking for that collaborative, high-energy atmosphere and some great networking opportunities. Then we have the serviced office. Honestly, think of this as your office in a box. It comes fully furnished, and it's all-inclusive. We're talking internet, a receptionist, maintenance, the whole shebang. It is the ultimate plug-and-play option for any business that needs to get up and running immediately with absolutely zero hassle. And last but not least, the virtual office. This is such a smart play for today's remote-first companies. You get that prestigious business address, you get mail handling services, so you maintain a super professional image, but you do it all without the cost and overhead of a physical space. It's brilliant.
Okay, so you think you found the perfect type of space. Awesome, but wait, don't sign that lease just yet. Before you put ink to paper, we have got to run through a critical pre-lease checklist. I promise, getting these things right now will save you from some major headaches down the road.
It's all about doing your homework here. First, you've got to really think about the location. How easy is it for your team to get there? And, just as important, how easy is it for your clients? Next, you need to check out the infrastructure. Don't just assume the internet is fast, test it. See what the parking situation is like. Then, you have to carefully, and I mean carefully, read the lease terms. Look for hidden costs, understand the renewal policies, know your options for ending the lease. And finally, think about the layout and size. Does it work for you today? And more importantly, does it give you room to grow tomorrow?
All right, this brings us to the main event, the big showdown, renting versus buying. Let's put them side by side and see how the strategy and the numbers really stack up.
Just looking at this, the difference is night and day, right? Buying means a massive initial cost, a really long-term, inflexible commitment, and guess what? You're on the hook for every single bit of maintenance. Renting? You're looking at a low initial cost, incredible flexibility, and the landlord takes care of all the major repairs.
Okay, now this chart is where the rubber really meets the road, because you can see it all laid out. Just look at the initial cost. When you buy, you're talking about a huge down payment plus a ton of closing costs. With renting, it's usually just a security deposit and your first month's rent. Huge difference. And then there's flexibility. Buying basically anchors you to one spot. Renting lets you pivot, lets you move, lets you expand as your market changes. The financial risk is just on a completely different level.
And that really sums it all up perfectly. This isn't just about saving some cash up front. It's a fundamental business strategy. Renting allows a company to stay agile, to protect its cash flow, and to stay focused on what it actually does best. Growing the business. That's what really matters.
So I want to leave you with one final question to think about. Take a good, hard look at your current situation and ask yourself, is your workspace an asset that's launching you forward, or is it an anchor that's holding you back from what you could become? The right answer could make all the difference in the world.